Cheap sausages dipped in batter and deep fried. American.
Food brings people together until someone brings in the Jell-O cake topped with pecans, raisins, and whipped cream. So join us on this wild ride of 10 weird American foods that shouldn't exist. Chicken and waffles.
Before that, you can only get chicken or waffles, but they were the first to put them together.
This dish is on the wanna fight about it list. Some stand right beside this dish in holy matrimony, while others may consider this stacked dish a bit too much. Chicken and waffles is a Southern favorite, maybe even considered a staple. So much so, Lay's even named a chip flavor after this conflicting dish. Usually, the dish consists of a buttermilk waffle cooked how you like it, topped with a pad or dollop of butter. A dollop of whipped butter melts considerably faster. Fried chicken placed on top. For easy consumption, choose a boneless cut if possible, and then everything is covered in maple syrup.
Note the maple syrup cheese.
Sounds magical to me, and to others, it's about as weird as a donut burger with all regular burger fixings. This is where we say, to each their own. Brain sandwich.
And this is what your brain did.
The state of Indiana has wowed the masses with this beloved state delicacy. Originally, this cuisine was prepared with cow brains, but during the year of mad cow disease, there was a decision to use pig brain as an alternative.
Just don't ask where the meat comes from.
If you happen to be at least a bit interested in this sandwich, you may be pleased to know that the meat is breaded and then fried with a dash of mustard for a little extra razzle-dazzle. Seen as this is a sandwich, traditional fixings kinda make this dish a bit more appealing. Who doesn't love the crunch of fresh veggies on their sandwich? If you find yourself needing a boost in your computing ability, you can always try the ultimate brain food American cuisine has to offer. This is one weird sandwich that easily makes the list. Spam.
Egg, bacon, and spam?
This wartime necessity-turned cultural favorite is a big hit in Hawaii. Sales of Spam soared during World War II because of its shelf stability, and it quickly became a great choice for the soldiers. On average, Hawaiians consume about 12 cans per person a year, so it's pretty safe to assume this option couldn't be that horrible, right? So, what is it? Spam, the meat, not the male, although both kind of give off the same energy, is a canned spiced meat that is made from pork shoulder that can be cooked and seasoned however the chef desires.
Cook whatever you like.
A popular dish is musubi, which is sushi rice with a spam patty on top, wrapped in roasted seaweed. Spam is used in a wide array of meal options from breakfast to dinner. It can be used in soups, stews, and even as a side dish. Honestly, spam stew doesn't sound too bad, does it? Oh, waiter! Fried squirrel.
Please don't eat my brain.
Here's another cultural classic stemming from deep roots that arguably probably should not exist. When hunters in West Virginia happened upon an unlucky or scarce hunt and found it difficult to catch any big game, they would bring home squirrel instead. A family has to eat, right? To this day, it is still popular and even celebrated with the annual squirrel feast. Yes, this is a real thing and not something from an episode of Punk.
Is this real?
When a culture loves their food oddities, it's safe to say a hearty festival is the best way to show team pride. Deep-fried squirrel can be paired with white pepper gravy, which sounds like a highly palatable combination with the sweet, nutty flavor that is fabled to be similar to chicken. How cliché is that? As far as side dishes go, do as the Southerners do, with classic Southern American sides like a basket of fries or just solo, with or without sauce. West Virginians have shown us even the ordinary creatures can leave an extraordinary taste in one's mouth. Mayonnaise.
Mother of mayonnaise!
This might just be one of the least weird food items on the list. This popular egg-based condiment isn't all bad, but there are cases where the use of mayo is overdone or just simply wrong entirely. This semi-villainous origin story is somewhat blurry, but it's been strongly suggested the version of mayo we know today was born on the Balearic Islands in the town of Mahon, found off the northeast coast of Spain. Finding its way to France circa 1756, it began its culinary journey as the cream-whipped spread some either love or hate. Story has it that French chef Marie-Antoine Carême whipped up this sauce by subbing olive oil for cream, thus creating Mayonnaise.
Listen, boy, this is a great invention.
While mayonnaise may not be that weird to everyone, it is part of some definitely weird dishes. Benedictine is one such dish. Benedictine is a spread or dip loaded with cucumber, onion, cream cheese, mayo, and green food coloring, and is commonly associated with the Kentucky Derby. When mayo finds its way over to the useful and savory side, it is indeed useful and tasty. When it comes to tuna salad, fry sauce, and even deli sandwiches, mayo makes the cut. However, the line is crossed when it's used on its own as a dipping sauce or used to make Benedictine. What flavor even is that? Marshmallow.
Oh yeah, you soft. You soft like marshmallow.
Though marshmallows have some delicious uses, which saved this food choice from being lower on the list, can we address the peep? This soft, sugary treat in the shape of a chick or duck covered in more yellow sugar is just wrong texture-wise. Marshmallows are just a lot of fluffy mush, and many people are not big fans. Rice Krispie treats or s'mores are the perfect example of marshmallow being done right, especially when fresh and still slightly warm. This ambiguously textured treat first came about in 2000 BCE when ancient Egyptians extracted the sap from the mallow plant, or Althea officinalis if you're being technical, and mixed it with nuts and honey. The original form of marshmallow seems just as weird and maybe just as texturally off-putting as its contemporary companion. Nevertheless, that touch of honey was enough to draw people in to give one a try. As much as we know about its early life, nothing is known of what the ancient marshmallow looked like. This dessert was originally meant only for the gods and the elite of society. Today, marshmallows are consumed in crazy amounts by Americans. We're talking like 90 million pounds a year. Seeing as this treat is a year-round favorite, those numbers don't seem too outrageous. Even though marshmallows are popular, it doesn't make them any less weird. Livermush.
Liver? Oh, Herman loves liver.
Historically, Southern dishes come from deep roots of necessity, like chitterling or pig's feet. This North Carolina dish may also have these common roots, and here's why. Livermush has its origins that can be traced back across the pond to Germany, and its frugality made it pop during the Great Depression. Those who left Germany for the Americas in the 1700s ate a dish referred to as Ponhos, which was pork scraps mixed with a blend of buckwheat and spices. This had to have been created out of necessity, right? Before there was such a thing as extreme couponing, budget-conscious farmers made sure that every scrap of hog worth saving was saved and repurposed into the now famous Livermush, which today is made with cornmeal and not buckwheat.
Exciting new ingredients.
This meatloaf-like dish hasn't changed much since its big relocation and is served with whatever side dish your country or city heart desires. Some people enjoy it between a couple of slices of bread with a good swipe of mustard. Livermush. The name sounds just as weird as the dish itself. The locals love it so much that it's a classic dish that is celebrated every year at various festivals. If you find yourself in the only region that serves this not-so-living legend, give it a try. As we said before, don't knock it till you try it. Rocky Mountain Oysters.
Colorado specialty, Rocky Mountain Oysters.
A misleading name for sure. This one could be considered clickbait. These oysters come from the ranchers of the Rocky Mountain region and their need for cheap cuts of meat. Staying on trend and not wanting to waste any resources, they began to experiment with the testicles of animals like bulls, sheep, or pigs. Calves are often used since the process to obtain these low-hanging fruit helps to control breeding, temperament, and other farm needs. This is truly a weird one and a highly acquired taste for those not familiar with the dish. But if you're from Clinton, Montana, you'll be gearing up for the 5-day, 15,000-strong Testicle Festival. Hey Siri, get directions to the Testicle Festival.
Holy Testicle Tuesday!
This is a popular appetizer in the Rocky Mountain region and goes by many other names like calf fries or cowboy oysters, to name a few. Though this cut of meat can be prepared in any fashion, traditionally they are flattened, seasoned with salt and pepper, then flour-coated and deep-fried. Somebody offering you oysters sounds like a no-brainer until Siri or one of the locals gives you the 411 on your new favorite dish. If you find yourself in the mountains, swing by one of the places that serve them. Pork brains and eggs.
It's gonna eat your brain!
If the foods already mentioned weren't wild enough for you, then hang on, because this next one will blow your mind and leave you asking, why? Like the creation of several dishes on our list, many people were keen on using everything they could when it came to their natural resources. Though today's way of life can make some of these dishes a thing of the past, culturally, these odd customs have deep roots and are here to stay. By name, this sounds like a breakfast dish to get you going. Talk about brain food. One may have a lot of questions about this dish. Please, no zombie questions. And it's more than understandable. The surprisingly mild meat is seasoned and browned first, then the chef adds the eggs and any other seasonings or fixings. The texture of the meat takes on the same texture as the eggs, so it's said to be very cohesive and pleasing to the palate.
They look delicious.
This is a southern dish after all, so don't forget to boil some grits to pair with this over-the-top dish for a blast of flavor. You can also jazz it up and throw in some pancakes or waffles with your choice of bacon for a hearty plot twist on a simple, classic breakfast. Mildly flavored eggs, blueberry waffles, crispy applewood smoked bacon, a hot cup of home-brewed Joe, and some pork brains. Maybe not everyone's idea of the perfect breakfast, but for others, it's the perfect way to start the day, however weird it may seem. Tomalley.
That's called the tamale. Steamer, it's the best part.
This Maine staple isn't a native dish, but in fact was a byproduct of trade with the lands of pre-colonial Caribbean. On the sandy beaches, it's known as Tomalley or Tumalin, and it's commonly believed that trade between the Caribbean and New England brought this dish to the Americas along with molasses and rum. Tomalley is to lobster as chitterlings is to swine, except tamale is the unsatisfyingly colored goo in a lobster that serves as its liver and pancreas. The special ingredient is usually eaten with the lobster, but it can come in other forms. Whichever form you choose, this cuisine has a savory taste, giving the meal a certain je ne sais quoi. Many chefs turn the substance into a mixture made with mayo, or if you want to double up on the weird, it's made into a butter for a savory dipping sauce.
How about no?
Then there are others who prefer to keep things simple and just spread it on a cracker for a salty, crunchy twist to this multifaceted organ mix. A fancy meal of lobster paired with the savory paste of decadent weirdness. On a serious note of caution, because no one wants to die over dinner, consuming this dish at the wrong time of year, like during crazy phenomenons called red tides, may cause the daredevil eater to get PSP. No, not a PlayStation Portable, but paralytic shellfish poisoning. The FDA put out a notice for caution in 2008, so be wise and find a reputable restaurant with a credible chef experienced in preparing tamale sourced from the eastern seaboard. Check out more great videos. Just tap or click, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell.